What's up, besties? It's Ashley with AMCX Studio, and I am back with another video. So, when you first consider selling on Etsy to sell your handmade items, it is intense. Like, there is an insane amount of emotions that go into that. Are they gonna like my stuff? What do I need to do? And there is an insane amount of information out there. Like, where do you turn? Who do you trust? Literally everyone has a different way to do it. So it can be overwhelming. Like, I know when I first started, it was absolutely overwhelming, and I'm one of those people that like digest literally everything. So it's hard to pick one thing to go with. So if you are looking to get a no nonsense fluff cut out guide to figure out what you need to do in order to sell on Etsy, stay with me through this video because I'm going to give you 5 things to consider before you begin your Etsy journey. The first thing that you want to know are your costs. Come on. We're selling things, but we also want to make a profit. So we need to know our costs. You absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, you need to know how much your product takes to make. Don't consider sales. Yes, Michael has sales. Yes, Hobby Lobby has sales. Do not, calculate your product cost based on those sales, because those sales are not always going to be there. And honestly, if you guys are still shopping at Hobby Lobby and Michael's to go in and you're going into a business still using them as your main suppliers, we gotta talk. You need to explore other wholesale options. Yes, it can be a little scary to invest that kind of money, but you need to find there are plenty of other places besides big box stores to get your supplies, and it will help cut down the amount of money that you spend up front and the amount that it takes, and you can have a bigger profit margin. So you need to know your product cost, and I'm talking calculate it all down to the clasps on your necklace, the shirts that you're putting the vinyl on. Figure out cost per inch, and do not forget your time is worth something. Your time, your power, the electric, there are a lot of things that go into a product cost. You need to think about what is going to be best for you, but make sure that the money that you are putting out to put together these items is getting paid for by the customer, and you still got room in there to grow your business, because that's what we're doing this for. That's what we're doing this for. We want to make money. The next thing to consider: shipping. Now, free shipping is not free. If you're just starting out in your Etsy journey, Etsy will ask you, or they will tell you, hey, do you want to offer $35 and over? We'll ship for free. While it is super enticing and great, and I offer free shipping in my own shop, so I'm not even gonna knock it or anything like that, and I love Amazon's free shipping, so this is not a bump free shipping video, because free shipping works. It does work, but it is not free. You either need to pad that into the cost of your product, which will ultimately raise that, or you need to offer something like what I mentioned earlier: orders over a certain amount will ship for free. And if you do it that way, you can some orders you get your butt chewed. On other orders though, it will even out over the course of your year on Etsy, on any platform really. Just keep in mind how much shipping costs, and in order to do that, you need to get a scale. We're not even playing anymore. Don't use the scale in your bathroom, because it is not the same thing. Get you a scale. Let me pull it up. Get you a scale. I think this thing was $15 or $20. I'll link it down in the thing, right? But you need to get you a scale, because you need to know precisely how much that thing weighs. You need to consider the size of your box. Why is it all blurry? There we go. We're back. So back to your shipping costs. So you need to think it's not just like about putting a stamp on a thing and letting it go. If you're selling on Etsy or anywhere, you really should consider tracking your package. And it does cost a little bit more money in order to make sure that your package is getting tracked. You have no idea how many people in the groups and stuff that I'm in talk about like, oh, I don't pay for tracking or anything like that, and it ends up biting them eventually. Now, if you don't mind an occasional package coming up missing, by all means, don't worry about this part. But you should just to cover yourself, pay that extra for tracking. And you need to consider the weight of your box, your bubble mailers, any material that goes into the box to secure your items, especially if you're selling like glass items, cups, stuff like that. Like, wrap that stuff up. Use bubble wrap. That is a part of your cost. That is a part of your shipping cost. Don't just mark this up. Like, this is not coming out of your pocket. Come on now. It's just those little things. Also, business cards, if you're including those things, thank you notes, little stuff like that. Calculate how much each one of those cost when you throw it in there. Include the cost of your freebies, whether you're throwing in extra stickers or some candy, whatever it is. Whatever you are sticking inside of this box, count it as a cost, because it costs you something, and we are not coming out of pocket for everything. I'm just saying, we're not doing it. We're here to make money. Before you sell or promise anything to anyone, make sure you know how to ship this. If you are selling cups, ship a cup to yourself beforehand, so you know how much bubble wrap, how to package the thing before you send it to a customer. Because I'm just going to say, the postal system and UPS and FedEx, all those people, they get a little crazy. I've seen them like yeet some packages and stuff. So just keep in mind, not everyone is going to be as gentle with your package as you are when you like box it up. So just ship yourself a couple of items so that you know what that looks like when it comes back to you, how jumbled up everything is. The next thing, photography. The photo sells. A photo is worth 1,000 words, and it is so true. Your photos have to be exquisite. It does not have to be on a white background. Like, I know Amazon kind of prefers that, but in lighter photos draw people's attention and stuff. But if that doesn't go with like your brand, if you're like spooky gothic and everything is dark and bats and everything like that, then absolutely like stick with what works for you. You know your business, you know your brand, your people better than anybody else. So like, if it doesn't work for your vision, your vibe, ditch it. But the photography that you have, that is going to be the thing that shows up, that people are going to want to click. So it needs to look visually appealing. It's got to be enticing. One thing that you do not want to do is crowd your photos with a bunch of extra stuff. If you're selling lip gloss, do not throw in like eyeshadow, makeup palettes, pens. I don't know why there would be a pen in there, but a pen, beauty blender, things like that, because it can get a little confusing as to what exactly it is that you're selling. I saw a tiered tray design that the listing itself was for 3 pieces to this, but there was a bunch of extra little like prompts that they had in there. And when I initially saw it, I'm like, oh man, that's cool, it comes with all this stuff. And then just reading further, it was like, wow, okay, so that's like $50 for 3 signs. I don't think that I want to do that one. So you just make sure that your photos are clear in what it is that you're selling and they look good. Everybody wants to look good. The next thing, SEO, and this is one of those topics where it's just like there is not enough time in videos to really explain what this thing is. This is how anyone is going to find you on anything. Like Etsy and Google work together pretty good with the search engine optimization and stuff like that. But when you create your product, like I'll pull this pumpkin because that's right here. So I would put in like painted pumpkin, or if I was naming this pumpkin like Ben the Pumpkin. Don't use those as keywords. Like, understand that SEO for Etsy is going to be what the customer is going to be looking for. They're going to want to find, like when I go to search something, if I want this for my tabletop, it's going to be tabletop decor, Halloween decor, spooky scary skeletons, like just little things that I think that would pull up what I'm looking for. You need to think like the customer, because that's ultimately who you're trying to snag. You know your product. You know everything that was involved in making this thing. You know that there's like 3 layers of specialty paint, and you know that there's vinyl on it, but nobody else is gonna know that. So you want to make sure that you're using words and phrases that's going to attract the customers that you're looking for. And when you're doing that, just try to stay away from like the 1-word tags, because pumpkin, you're gonna compete with like 50 million other people that are using the word pumpkin. Try to get a little more specific. You'll have fewer competitors when you get more specific. You might not be able to reach as many people, but when you use the small tags, you are one person in a field of 50,000 screaming out, pick me, pick me. Think about like at a concert, you're that person in the front row trying to raise your hand, and there's like thousands of other people there screaming, pick me, pick me, pick me. The band is not gonna pick everybody, they can only pick a couple people. But if the concert was smaller and there was only like 10,000 and you're screaming pick me, the chances that you're getting picked raise a little bit more. So try to be specific when you're using those key terms, because it's going to it's gonna make the search smaller, but it also means that the people that are searching for those things, they're more likely to see your stuff than if they just typed in a single term. I hope that makes sense. Etsy has a lot of really good resources and stuff when it comes to SEO, so be sure to refer back to the Etsy handbook to really take a deep dive and understand what you're looking at. The last thing that I can say is be yourself. Be your authentic self. People buy from people. That's the biggest thing. That if you take nothing else from this video, remember to be you. 1000%. There are tons of places on the Etsy shops, like your About Me section. There's shop managers where you can put in, tell your story, because your story is very important. Your story is the reason why you created this shop and why you're watching this video, to get better at selling on Etsy. Nobody out there is like you, and that is the best part about you. Super cliche, like spare me the rolling of the eyes right now because I see you doing it. Your story is important and you gotta tell it. You got to sell your story. You gotta tell your story. Use social media, use TikTok, use YouTube if you must. Like, just get out there, Find the platforms that are going to work for you, that you're comfortable with, that your market is at, and freaking rock that stuff. Show up for it every time. And I should really take my own advice on this one because I'm bad at being consistent on social media. But like, just show up. Even if you only have like 10 followers on Instagram, show up for those 10, because those 10 people really liked you enough to follow you. So show up for them every single day, or like every other day. Just don't vanish. Like like I have a habit of doing. Don't vanish. Be yourself. Be unique. Just be you. Enjoy the journey of selling on Etsy and messing up and learning and fixing it, waking up to 5-star reviews and waking up to 1-star reviews, because it's going to happen. It's a process, and it can be a pain, it can be hard, but it is 1,000% worth it in my opinion. Like I love it. I love doing what I do. I really hope that those things kind of help you understand what you should be looking at when you get ready to sell on your Etsy shop. Some things to consider. If you have any questions, feel free to like drop them down in those comments below. Check out these social medias because I hang out over here, hopefully more consistently than I have been. But you know, TikTok, YouTube, subscribe here so that we can hang out and I can share with you more Etsy stuff, more crafty stuff, more design things, like all the things, just hanging out with me. I'm gonna link down below because we had talked about prices and costs and stuff like that, and I have something for you guys if you're interested in seeing it. I have a cost calculator down there, and you put in the price of the stuff that you paid, and then you have an area on the front page where it tells you how much your product cost you, so that you can kind of get an idea of what you have put into it, and it can help you price your items to have maximum profit. Bye.